Hello, everybody. How you doing? My name is Tim Black. Before we do anything, I need you to subscribe to this channel right now. Go ahead and click, because I got something to tell you, Johnson. And this is going to be fiery. All right, so I covered the Amber Geiger case from beginning to end. I covered it when it was just a blip on the radar, when they first had the allegations made that a Dallas police officer walked into the home of Botham John and shot him in his own house. I covered it then, I covered it through the trial, I covered it through the verdict. If you are subscribing to my channel, you know that. Well, over the weekend, or should I say Friday, a new chapter in the saga of Botham John continued. Now, this is concerning a key witness in the Amber Geiger trial, a Joshua Brown. As I'm pretty sure most of you know by now, Joshua Brown was shot and killed on Friday night in Dallas. It looked like an ambush-style murder. Young man's life has been taken, and there's been a lot of speculation about what it was regards to. Did it have a connection to Amber Geiger? It looks like very fishy. This is something horrific. Now, what I proceeded to do on Friday was try to get information about the case. And what little I could find, I reported on Twitter about a shooting that may have occurred, and a shooting that did occur, took a man's life. They say he was shot in the face or the mouth, in the mouth exactly, and it was ambush style. Several shots fired, a silver vehicle sped away, and that's all they had on the case. And I said on Twitter that this looks suspicious. Man just testified, a key component in the case, make no mistake about it. He was a witness before the shooting of Botham John and after, as to the actions of Amber Geiger. So yeah, people were going to speculate, and I said people should speculate. People will speculate. It's not out of the realm of imagination for someone to be shot after testifying. It happens all the time. Well, depending on where you come from and how much money you have. But be that as it may. It happens all the time in some areas. Enough to not be, oh my God, someone got shot after testifying. Now, what I noticed next is the reason why I'm doing this video. When I did a search for Joshua Brown, I couldn't find hardly anything. Not anything really of substance. I saw mediocre videos by mediocre folks, most of the people I saw. Or I couldn't even see them. It was people hiding from the camera, reading off of articles they read on the internet, repeating whatever theory they had, and that was it. And these videos, they didn't get much views, and some of them got more than others. But by and large, it was just, looks like to me, to be people reacting to a situation. And I'm not going to say everybody had bad intentions, but a lot of people who reported on this story had no intentions of getting the truth, did not care about the truth, and it was evident in the type of material that you could see readily available on the internet, particularly YouTube. It was disgusting what people were doing. It was horrific the coverage it was receiving, and it was laughable that you could consider this anything other than mindless dribble of entertainment on someone else's death. This morning I woke up refreshed, ready to go, look at the news cycle, see what's going on, what will I be reporting on, and then I get this message from a Wolfpack member.
Hey, Tim. Love your show. Wondering if you've seen the latest about Botham John and the guy that was key witness that was shot down and killed outside his apartment. Keep up the good work. Love you, Johnson.
So here we are, Johnson. I'm going to update you to what happened with the Joshua Brown case. Then I'm going to give you some commentary about it because, frankly, someone needs to say this, and it's not being said. And this will be the only place you get it, right here. First clip I have for you is more background about the Joshua Brown shooting, his murder, and what we know by now.
Be advised, it does look like we have one on the ground.
The shooting that killed Brown happened at a different apartment complex than the one where Geiger and John lived. Witnesses described hearing several gunshots Friday night and seeing a silver four-door sedan speeding away from the parking lot. Merritt says Brown was scared someone was after him after he was involved in a separate shooting incident in Dallas.
Did he fear for his life related to this case or anything else in general?
He had been shot less than a year ago, and someone standing near him was killed. He was reluctant to testify in this case because he had been shot at, and he thought some people might want him to do harm to him.
Is there anything police department could have offered, any protection?
If he had concerns for his safety, then the county had an obligation to ensure that those concerns were met.
So what you're telling me is that Joshua Brown was in a shooting where someone was shot and killed standing right next to him, and he himself was also shot less than a year ago, and no one from the Dallas Police Department, no one wanted to talk about this? I'm just now finding this out on a Sunday evening into a Monday morning? You also mean to tell me that this shooting that occurred didn't occur at his home, that he had a new residence, not at the same location where Amber Geiger and Botham Jean resided? This is all new information that could have been included to begin with so that people would not have the misinterpretation of what happened in this case or what was going on with Joshua Brown. But don't worry, this gets better or worse, depending on how you define it.
Dallas police say Joshua Brown was shot multiple times in the lower body. Now, there was a wide range of speculation over the weekend that he had been shot in the mouth. Every indication we have at this point is that that is not the case. The attorney representing the family of Joshua Brown is also one of the same attorneys that was representing Botham Jean's family, Lee Merritt. He told us last night that Joshua Brown was shot in November of 2018, so about a year ago, in a shooting event that had nothing to do with the Botham Jean trial, and that he was wounded in that attack, and that at some point he did worry that that person was, quote, going to come back and finish the job. Now, whether or not all of this is connected to the Botham Jean trial is completely unclear at this point.
So now you're telling me he wasn't shot in the mouth either, huh? Yeah, he was shot in the lower body. How does one make a mistake like that, Johnson? How do people not be able to determine the difference between a mouth shot and a lower body shot? And when the reporter here says, wild speculation, I'd like to know where that speculation began. Also, it's important to note that Joshua Brown didn't volunteer to speak. He was subpoenaed. In case you don't know what a subpoena is, it's a court order, a writ of order that he had to be present at that courthouse to testify under penalty of perjury. Maybe that's the reason why he was crying on the stand, Johnson, because he was on the run for people wanting to kill him, and now he has to testify and come out of hiding and be on the news everywhere, and maybe he knew people would find him and kill him, take his life. I mean, he moved away from the apartment where he resided with Botham Jean and Amber Geiger, so maybe he knew something was going on. Now, much as a travesty it is about the information here being vastly different over what, just a mere 72 or 48 hours, my issue, and the thing that I want to harp on, folks, is why does this keep happening? Why does it keep happening that Black Death is portrayed in a way to get people emotionally riled up in order to fool them so that somebody can make a whole lot of money off of clicks and views? This case could have obviously been handled much differently. The news should have reported accurately what they did have. No one stepped up and said, hey, before you people go to sleep at night worrying and feeling like the whole world's against you, being emotionally manipulated by this story about a young man getting his life snatched. Yes, it's horrible that a young man's life was snatched, but we have absolutely no information that had anything to do with Amber Geiger. He was in a shooting just a year ago where a friend or a person standing next to him was killed. He himself was shot. He was looking to get away. He wanted to stay anonymous. He did not want to testify. The prosecutors subpoenaed him, compelling him to testify. And look, I'm not saying that would have removed all doubt from U.S. citizens or Black viewers or people with just heartstrings or empathy. But all of a sudden, a case that looked very mysterious, a situation that looked very haunting, goes from, hey, I'm 90% sure that the police had something to do with this, to about 20% of, hey, maybe they did, probably they didn't. Probably they didn't, Johnson. And all I want you to do is I want you to think about how emotionally we get manipulated all the time in stories like this. And I see no other group get manipulated to this extent except black folks. They use this every time to make a few dollars. They're down to make a few dollars at our expense, at our emotional pain. And you know what happens to emotional pain like this? The type of stress where you feel that police departments, organizations, government organizations, state-run organizations are preying on you. It stays in your body. It stays lodged in your cortex, cerebral cortex. It contributes to high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes, and maybe even cancer. I mean, it's a horrible thing to walk around every day and think, my policemen are after me, the police departments are in on it, the media is not reporting on it, and it only adds to further anxiety. I just want you to go back over how different the reality is from the stories that were being put forth. And how did they get in the mainstream, the populace? How did they get in the ether? How did they get in the environment that this was what happened to Joshua Brown? That we would form these conspiratorial ideas, that this had something to do with the Dallas Police Department offing a key witness. Now, I'm not saying I know for certain it wasn't a key witness being off by someone pissed off or someone related to Amber Geiger or a rogue cop set on getting Joshua Brown back for running his mouth in case there's going to be an appeal case down the line. But what I'm saying is now that we have other information, that's not the only conclusion that you can readily draw to. And I think it's not an accident that this keeps happening. Time after time after time, emotionally triggering black folks to go on a frenzy, a roller coaster ride, so people can make a few dollars. And we got to start calling it out for what it is. We're tired of being the punching bag for every news entity that wants to make a couple of dollars. I don't care who they were. Don't tell me that the newsmakers at NBC or MSNBC or CNN or CBS or ABC or the BBC don't have the resources that they could get more information than Tim Black. All of them had the access to not only Lee Merritt, or the records of Joshua Brown, or the hospital records, or the previous encounters. There has to be a record somewhere that they could have retrieved. But they don't put out that information. They let it ride for 3 days, get a little bump in their viewership, and then they put it out on a Monday morning as if nothing happened. Meanwhile, we got people walking around here all weekend on pins and needles thinking our government hates me, our state wants to get me. And I'm not saying they don't, Johnson, but what I'm telling you is this particular case is not as open and shut a conspiracy as people will lead you to believe. And those people pushing it, some of them are being manipulated themselves, and others are doing the manipulation. So whether it's you with a YouTube channel or if it's you with a news broadcast on a major cable news network, if you don't step in and correct the record, what good are you? None. Not good at all. The opposite of good. My condolences to the family of Joshua Brown. I'm not in any way suggesting that it's okay that a man's life was taken. But I'm also here to say it's not okay to conflate two different stories, two different horrific incidents, and combine them into one just to up the ante on viewership and web clicks. I'm Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter at RealTimBlack. Email me at tim@timbblacktv.com. I'm out of here. This is disgusting, Johnson.